Why do people get so mad at you when you're not as scared as them? This year, more than any other in recent memory, has really brought the fear level of the average person to a new high. Of course, we can talk about the days of terrorist attacks and warnings thereof about 20 years ago. Of course, that brought a lot of paranoia and fear to people, but at least on their day-to-day lives, they were safe. Walking around to the grocery store, going in their car, going to work, everything just ran. You were just afraid of maybe there would be some attack that might hurt some people, but it wasn't ever present everywhere. And the news media has really done a great job of being awful and whipping up people into a frenzy of paranoia where people are just terrified all the time, no matter what happens. And you know what I've realized by not being one of these people is that people who are scared get really pissed off at you if you're not scared. And it's like, I didn't do anything to you. I just have a difference of opinion. I'm not nearly as paranoid, but that's about the same. Like, I didn't actually cause any of these problems that people are afraid of. I didn't actually cause anything of serious risk or anything like that. Yet, people are still really mad because you're not scared and they are. They're scared. You need to be scared too. Otherwise, I don't know what. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. But then you dig in a little deeper and it does. I think it's for three main reasons: company, comfort, and doing something about it. First thing, of course, misery loves company. If you're all in something together, you don't feel nearly as alone, which is something that humans are innately pretty terrified of. And so if you have other people who are equally scared, it feels better being scared. And so even if there's someone who's not suffering like you are, rather than say, oh, this is good, I'm going to be like them, I'm going to have company with them and be not scared with them, they get mad because you're taking away from their company in being scared. You are diminishing their camaraderie. That's one. Two is comfort. A lot of people are terrified or hate things that they're not used to, which is very strange. I mean, when you think about it, of course, people would be gravitating towards things they know, they're familiar with, because there's, historically speaking, less danger in those things. It's like, okay, my life sucks here, but I got it together. I'm still surviving. If I go out there, even though things might be a lot better, they could be a lot worse and I could die. So I'm going to be just hardwired to stick with what I know, with what I'm comfortable with. And so people actually like the fear to a certain extent. They want to be afraid because that's more comfortable to them. And if you're not afraid, you're doing a bad thing because they are benefiting in their own sick, twisted mind from being afraid. And you're not, therefore you're against the good thing, which is being what they see realistically afraid. The third thing is a little more insidious, which is feeling like you're doing something about a problem. Now, in the case of this year, we have a problem that, let's be honest, not a lot can really be done about. There's a lot of people getting sick. A lot of people are affected. A lot of people are mildly affected, whatever. There's not a whole lot you can do. You can't just not exist in a global society. It seems like across the board, no matter what countries have decided to try to do, this kind of thing hits everyone, blows through everyone, and that's just the way things are. Now, I'm not going to get into a debate about what works or what doesn't, or different actions that could reduce risks, reduce deaths, whatever else. No. On the whole, the average person can't really do a whole hell of a lot about this at all, or anyone for that matter. But what they can do is something. Even a small thing makes a difference, even if it doesn't. Ultimately, our brains as human beings are much more powerful and evolved than our meat spaces in terms of our place in the universe, as an individual especially. We are largely slaves to our environment. We're just little ant-like creatures on this giant rock hurtling through the universe with so many countless trillions of other rocks out there. We're just so small and insignificant that any little blip could just catastrophically destroy our lives and everything we want it to. We could just, choke on a piece of steak and just be dead. Like, anything can happen. And it's terrifying to have so little control over something that literally is everything to you, your entire existence. And humanity has gotten ahead by, in the face of all this lack of control, actually clawing together some control over their environment and making progress in civilization and medicine and agriculture and all these great things that shield us from the inevitability of, death and destruction, things like that. And it's been great. And so we have this thing hardwired in us to try to do the same with everything. So if you are being scared, that at least is something, right? It doesn't mean you're doing anything. Just that feeling of, oh, I'm scared. Just it satisfies that urge that you're actually doing something. It also makes you alert to, say, predators, if you want to go back long enough to see where this kind of thinking might have come from. Where if someone isn't scared, like there's a group of people that say there's lions out there, they're going to get us. Oh, I don't know what to do. And one person is not scared. They'll come, whatever, I don't care. Then that person is a liability because they're not looking out. They're not scared. They're not on high alert. They're not ready for something comes to go run and alert the rest of the tribe, whatever. And it's the same thing today. If you're not scared and someone else is scared, they view their being scared on a deep level to be something that's actually fixing a real problem, even if it's not, even if it's just raising their blood pressure and making them miserable and making their hair turn gray and all that kind of stuff. If you're not doing that, you are seen as not contributing to the solution because somehow the solution gets fixed by everyone just being afraid. And if you do the exact same thing as everyone else, but you're optimistic, well, they don't like that. That kind of eats at their head. Now, of course, all these things are kind of society-wide. Every individual might feel elements of this, but people are individuals. They can choose what they want. We, animals, also have a rational brain, which is not particularly animal, that we can use to not be like this. And a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. So anyway, I don't know what I was trying to say with all this other than just sort of explore and try to make sense out of some strange things that are happening in today's world. Stay safe out there and stay unafraid.